Welcome to the Holistic Success Show. I'm Elizabeth Lozano.
And I'm Dr. Robert Puff. Today our guest is an expert on the brain. He'll be teaching us how to keep it healthy and fit.
Dr. Puff will be talking to us about enjoying the journey of life as well as the importance of marriage.
And a question from you on how to find a good spouse.
And our other question will be about finding the motivation to exercise. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you enjoy the show.
One aspect of being holistically healthy is your relationship with your loved one, the person that you have chosen to spend your life with. And doing that well, doing that healthfully is wonderful. There are so many benefits from that, investing in that, spending time with that person, loving them, being romantic, giving love back and forth, and all the joys and memories you get from that. It's very much a wonderful thing to say, I'm going to make sure as a holistic person, I invest in this. Because when you don't, a lot of suffering comes. And just to share a story about that, there's a man I work with, and he was a medical doctor, and he had worked very hard. He was definitely a workaholic. He worked very hard at amassing his fortune, and the money he made, he built this mansion, this beautiful home with. It was gorgeous. Because he invested in his career and not in his marriage, his wife ended up leaving him, and she, through the divorce settlement, she got the house, and all he got was his practice. So when you don't spend time and invest energy into your marriage, it really can have significant financial consequences to it. I mean, devastating. And though that isn't the only thing that makes us healthy, it is very important too. So as you're going through life and you say, where do I put my time to? What do I invest my time in? How do I be holistically healthy and successful? To be that, you got to spend some time every day, every week on that significant other. Call them, let them know that you love them, spend time with them, be intimate with them, tell them how wonderful they are, be very positive. I think one of the keys of a healthy relationship is being positive, being complimentary. I love people to compliment each other. I think it's a very healthy way to engage with someone that you love. It keeps it strong. And when you build someone, friends, whoever it is, it's very important to always be complimentary, focus on what's beautiful about them. And that makes them feel better. It makes them feel like, hey, we have a solid relationship here. And I'm going to keep that going. Because marriage is like physical. If you stop working out, you get out of shape. If you don't physically work on the marriage by spending time with them, loving them, complimenting them, going on dates, it too will get out of shape. And then a lot of marriages end. And I think marriage is a very important part of your life. Keeping that intact, keeping that stable is a very healthy thing to invest in. And if you invest in it, you get a lot of rewards from that. It's very difficult to go through life having broken relationships. They're hard on our spirits. I know sometimes they happen. Sometimes the other person just won't participate in working on a relationship. But if you have that person who is, or if you find that person who is willing to invest in this relationship with you, I want to really encourage you to do that and always spend time and energy into that relationship. Never give up on it, and you'll find you'll reap so many rewards from that. Peace.
Our first question this week comes to us from James in Barbados. And the question is, I'm a single 37-year-old man and want to get married very badly. I'm constantly looking for a woman to meet, but every time I meet someone, I never hear back from them. What do you think I could be doing wrong?
James, there's many things we could suggest to help you find that really great spouse for yourself. But I first want to talk about one of the words you used in your letter to us was badly. I think when you want something really badly, it really can be counterproductive because there's an attachment there and all this energy gets into what you want. And it's so intense that it actually causes that what you want to not be there. And it's far better to flow with life. And in dating, let me explain how that would manifest. You would get involved with things that you love, but where there are single people there, let's say you love hiking, you love biking, do the activity that you love, where there are new people there. And then when you're there, look for people that you can meet there doing something that you're passionate about. They may not be there, but that's okay because you're going to enjoy what you're doing. But if they are there, it's a really good fit for you because then you're going to have something in common with them. You can continue to get to know them better and go at a more relaxed, comfortable pace. And I think what you'll find is a reciprocity will come back to you, and you'll find a mate that will want to spend their life with you that is a good fit for you. Because if you don't have that fit, it can really be not work out well, but if the fit's there, you'll find that life can go really well. Because there's studies that have shown that the adage, birds of a feather flock together, that is truly the true thing you want to look for. Someone who's much like you and doing what you love and looking for your spouse at the same time is a perfect fit for anyone. What do you think, Elizabeth?
I absolutely agree with you. And one of the questions that you had asked was, what am I doing wrong? And I think part of it is sometimes when we're in a desperate place, we can kind of come off that way. For example, I don't know if this is you, but I've heard of stories where somebody asks the person to marry them on the first date, and that can be a little inundating. We don't want to seem desperate. I mean, do you want to end up in a relationship when the person's like, come on, be with me, I need to be with somebody? And there's another part of this as well that I can remember being a place in my life where I really wanted to be with somebody, and I ended up settling with other people that really weren't the best for me, and I really want you to avoid doing something like that. And part of what you can do is really go within. And part of also what Dr. Puff was talking about, finding things that you're interested in and that you love, that is part of going within, because you're taking care of yourself, you're loving yourself, and doing things that you enjoy. And the hope is that you'll meet somebody who has a shared interest with you, because it is important. At first, it might be great to have somebody who's maybe a little bit more wild than you, and you might get excited by that, but after a while, that might start to get old.
I think too, Elizabeth, one of the things I like to encourage, and I think you might agree with me on this, we'll see, is even when you're single, it's important to be happy to be single instead of saying, I have to find someone, because we don't know what's going to happen in life. I mean, most of us will sooner or later end up being single because whoever we marry, one of us is going to die first. So it's very important to learn to be comfortable being single. And then if the universe brings you a spouse that's wonderful, that's awesome. But it's also very good, don't you think, to be able to be comfortable being single?
Yeah, it's very important to be in a place where you're actually okay being alone. And here's the key, is two halves. I know it seems like two halves make a whole, but two half people, meaning they're not wholly healthy, don't make a healthy relationship, because then they're constantly leaning on each other, kind of pushing each other over. And that's an important thing. You really need to be comfortable and okay by yourself. So thank you so much for your question, and we wish you all the best on your journey.
Tranquility and peace. Find freedom and relaxation no matter where you are or who you're with. Be still, be free. Meditation for Health and Happiness, available at www.holistichealth.tv.
Co-hosts of the Holistic Success Show, Dr. Puff and Elizabeth Lozano, MA, want to teach you how to live a meditative life. Learn to still your mind, diminish negative thinking, experience peace and bliss, and be 100% present in the moment. Retreats provide a unique opportunity to learn new skills, meet new people, and interact with Elizabeth Lozano and Dr. Puff. For information or reservations for upcoming retreats, please visit holisticretreats.tv. Expand your capacity for joyful living today.
I'd like to welcome Dr. Paul Bendheim to the show. He is a neurologist and brain researcher who has been studying Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia for over 25 years. And he's the author of this book, The Brain Training Revolution, a proven workout for healthy brain aging. Welcome to the show.
Thanks very much, Elizabeth.
So in this book, it says workout for the brain. How do you work out the brain? I always think of working out the muscles, but not the brain.
What we've learned over the last 20 years is if you think of your brain as a collection of 20 brain muscles, as I describe in the book, you can exercise those muscles, you can grow new brain cells, you can connect them, and you can build what we call brain reserve, which is analogous to physical reserve. I think most people in your audience understand the concept of physical reserve. If you stay physically active, you build protection against heart disease, stroke, a variety of age-associated conditions. We now know that if you exercise your brain, you can protect it against age-associated memory loss and Alzheimer's disease.
So how do we exercise our brain? How does that happen?
Well, as I describe in the book, The Brain Training Revolution, there's a whole lifestyle that's now been documented to protect your brain and exercise it. It starts with being socially active. People that do things with family and friends, go out and go dancing, go out and go to a concert, to a museum. Really, the world is a brain gym. It's full of a variety of intellectually, mentally challenging activities that if you partake in them, your brain is going to be stronger and age better. And you add to that modest physical exercise. People who simply walk 30 minutes or more 3 times a week build new brain cells, have better thinking and memory, and have a reduced risk of Alzheimer's disease. And the third major component to a brain healthy lifestyle is the nutritional aspect. We now know that there's a brain healthy diet, and it's a diet that many know as the Mediterranean diet, a diet rich in fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, whole grains, less red meat and more fish, healthy oils such as olive oil and other vegetable oils, and modest amounts of alcohol, especially red wine, 1 or 2 glasses a day. And I always like to add, if there are no medical or religious reasons not to drink. That, in a nutshell, is a brain healthy diet. And it's been shown, in fact, there was a study just from Columbia University in New York City in the past month, that people who adhere to a diet like that have a reduced risk of Alzheimer's disease.
So what are some simple brain exercises that our viewers out there can do?
Well, I encourage people to do things that they enjoy and that challenge them. Sudoku, crossword puzzles, and then for specific memory exercises.
Those things that make me go, I don't know how to do this. What's going on? What number goes where? So that actually helps though, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, maybe
And
not the screaming part though, huh?
I make a point, though, that there's no magic bullet. And to get back to what I said earlier, get out and do things in the real world that challenge you, that excite you, that are fun for you. And if you stay actively engaged, if you keep your mind engaged, it's going to help. It's going to age in a healthier way. You're going to have better memory.
And you talked a little bit as well about food that you put in your body. What would you say is brain healthy food? And I know that I think you've got some products as well, right?
Yes. Well, we've tried to make it easier for people to at least start and incorporate into their diet brain healthy foods and snacks. And so we've developed Brain Savers food for thinking products, and the first of which are all natural nutritional bars formulated based on the Mediterranean diet that incorporate fruits and vegetables, even wheat germ, bell peppers, and they provide more than 20 essential micronutrients for the brain, including fatty acids that are critical for the brain.
Yeah, can you elaborate a little bit upon that? Like, what specifically can we eat that's going to be good for our brains?
I'm asked that all the time, Elizabeth. And in a nutshell, the less processed your food, the better. And the more that you eat of a Mediterranean diet.
Which is what? What's a Mediterranean diet?
The Mediterranean diet describes the diet that has been the staple of people around the Mediterranean basis, and who have been shown to have a lower incidence of heart disease and other age-associated conditions.
Now, I know Alzheimer's is a disease that plagues many, and it, really affects everybody that's involved in the family. What's something that we can do to prevent such a thing?
Alzheimer's disease is the most common dementia. A dementia is a disease that affects the brain and causes loss of memory, loss of speech and language, loss of the ability to think. And we're in an epidemic of Alzheimer's disease now, with a new case every 70 seconds in this country.
Every 70 seconds?
Yes. And that's going to increase to every 30 seconds as the boomers age in this country. There are currently more than 5 million Americans with Alzheimer's disease. Over the next several decades, that number will increase to 16 million, according to the Alzheimer's Association, if we don't find a way to prevent it. And a brain-healthy lifestyle is designed to reduce your risk. And it's based on the science that shows if you stay socially active, if you do modest physical exercise, if you exercise your brain in the world, doing things that you enjoy but that are challenging, if you reduce stress, get a good night's sleep, and eat brain healthy foods, as we've talked about, you reduce your risk of Alzheimer's disease.
Now let me ask you this question. Where did your passion for all of this come from?
Well, my father was a psychiatrist. My mother was a physical therapist. They were a large part of my inspiration. My father, unfortunately, died of Alzheimer's disease.
I'm sorry.
I've spent my career now, 30 plus years, studying the brain, working on dementias, including Alzheimer's disease and what your audience knows as mad cow disease.
And I would imagine for you, you really want to prevent that for yourself because it is something that it's often hereditary.
Well, there is a hereditary component. And my mission now is to help educate people on what they can do proactively, how they can be their own healthy brain doctor and enjoy life to its fullest, age well, stay independent, and reduce their risk of Alzheimer's disease.
If people want to find out more about you, your book, as well as the Brain and Body Total Fitness Program and these yummy brain savers, which I actually had one before we started. It was very delicious. I had the yogurt covered one. Very yummy, yummy brain food. How can people find you and get a hold of you?
The easiest way is to go to brainsavers.com, our website, and you'll learn about our entire program, our nutritional products, the bars, which can be ordered on amazon.com and selected retailers. The book is available wherever books are sold, and our Brain Plus Body Total Fitness Program, I'm very proud to announce, has been partnered with the Senior Citizens Action Network, a health plan in California and Arizona, to offer their members this total fitness program that exercises your brain and your body and educates people about a brain healthy lifestyle.
What a wonderful mission you're on, and thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with our viewers.
Thanks very much.
How to Live a Positive Life, available at www.holistichealth.tv.
Co-hosts of the Holistic Success Show, Dr. Puff and Elizabeth Lozano, MA, want to teach you how to live a meditative life. Learn to still your mind, diminish negative thinking, experience peace and bliss, and be 100% present in the moment. Retreats provide a unique opportunity to learn new skills, meet new people, and interact with Elizabeth Lozano and Dr. Puff. For information or reservations for upcoming retreats, please visit holisticretreats.tv. Expand your capacity for joyful living today.
As a leading provider of raw, vegan, and biocompatible nutritional superfoods, Health Force offers Vitamineral Green. Their special cold-dry technique preserves the essential vitamins, minerals, enzymes, and other nutritional elements from all organic greens and vegetables. Dr. Puff is a longtime consumer of Vitamineral Green and other Health Force products. Now you can enjoy a powerful array of superfoods any time of the day. Be good to your body. Visit www.behealthy.tv today.
Right now, you may be going through a very difficult time of your life. We sometimes get them, tragedy strikes, pain hits, suffering occurs, and we go through a lot of turmoil during that time. What can we do? I'd like to start with a story that can help us get through those difficult times, because this man was able to get through it himself. He was actually a Buddhist monk living in Tibet, and when they were going through the war with China, he was put into prison for about 10 years and solitary confinement for most of that time. And just food was brought to him and didn't get to talk to anyone for that entire time. When he was released, he found his fellow Tibetan monks, and he went to them. He said, "Guess what? I actually discovered how beautiful cockroaches can be." And I think his message is really a message for all of us. We go through difficult times, but it doesn't mean we have to suffer. There is always something beautiful to be with. Be with that. Find, if you're in a hospital room, and you're watching the show right now in a hospital room, have them open up the door so you can hear the birds outside, or just have the fresh breeze coming in. If you're stuck at home, ask friends to come visit you and visit with them. Read a good book. find something beautiful to be with, because when you find that in yourself, what you'll find is happiness and joy will return to you. Now, sometimes you may say, but they're making my life miserable. They're hurting me. What can I do about that? And I think even looking for the beauty in others can be helpful, because when we struggle, if we take on their pain, if they're hurting us and we take that on, then that will make us suffer. But if along the journey we say, hey, this is what life has given me. How do I make this work for me? I set up boundaries with them. I try to rectify the situation. But ultimately, this is who's in my life. How do I get to love myself and perhaps even love them? I had a man like that in my life once who I felt there was nothing good in him. And I went down to this park and I found this very ugly leaf and it was curled up, and I just decided to unroll it. So I unraveled it, and inside was this most beautiful water droplet. I mean, it was gorgeous. And to me, that was a metaphor. Even though externally this man who was causing me a lot of suffering felt very ugly to me, I realized that even in him was something beautiful. So whether you are suffering yourself or someone is causing you suffering, look for the beauty within. Find what is right now beautiful and wonderful that you can be with, and be with that. Peace.
Our first question this week is from Carl in Germany. I used to ride my bike 20 miles a day and work out at the gym 3 days a week, but now I just don't have the energy to do it. It is very troubling to me as I want to maintain my fitness level. How do I get motivated again?
Carl, I want to talk about two aspects I think will help get you motivated. One is start believing in, and watch our show more often, because we really are going to talk about all the benefits of exercise and how it's good for your body, good for your brain, good for your longevity. It's just across the board very healthy for you. And I think if you believe in something, you're a lot more motivated to get into the cause than if you disbelieve in something. And then I think the second thing is take small steps. It's not healthy to go off and run a marathon if you haven't been exercising at all. So start off by just going around the block a few times, and then the next day maybe do a few more blocks, and then the next day do a few more blocks, and then go to the gym maybe for not an hour, but maybe go for 15-20 minutes. And I think each day, if you say, what is my goal today? I'm going to focus on one thing today. I'm going to walk 15 minutes today, or I'm going to go to the gym for half an hour. I'm going to swim. I'm going to go for a walk or a ride, whatever it may be. If you do a little bit and then incrementally increase it, because now you believe in it, you're motivated because you believe in all the positive effects of it, you will make time for it and you can start exercising on a regular basis. But watch the negative self-talk, because you'll say, I'm failing, I'm not doing well, and that really keeps you from exercising. Instead, focus on all the positive benefits of exercise and that you are going to work towards that direction. So the tortoise in the hare race, the tortoise wins. Go at the tortoise pace, but keep going. Don't give up on exercise. Take time for it, and what you'll find is your body will get reaccustomed to what you used to be accustomed to. What are your thoughts?
Carl, I'd like to say that first, if it was a sudden change that happened and you had all this energy before and all of a sudden it was gone, I encourage you to get that checked out too, just to make sure it's not a medical issue. But besides that, I think looking at the fact that you used to ride your bike for 20 miles a day can be a little bit intimidating and might actually get in your own way, because you might say to yourself, oh, I didn't make it 20 miles, I'm a loser, or whatever thing you might say to yourself, or I can't do it. And what Dr. Puff had said was huge. It's baby steps. I once worked with somebody who had been in an auto accident, and because of that, it left him with a lot of injuries. And when he first started coming to me, he was really upset because he used to be in top physical condition. And I told him, why don't you start with small little steps, small increments? And he started to do that, and guess what? He got to a place where he couldn't even believe. He's like starting to do marathons and stuff like that again too. So you can do it, but just take your time and be patient with yourself. Don't expect yourself to be able to go out there and ride for 20 miles when you haven't done it in a while. Start with a mile. Yes, a mile. Start with a mile and work your way up, and be patient with yourself.
Elizabeth, I don't know about you, but what I think too is sometimes people get so busy on something else that then they do it at the expense of exercise, and they're not putting the whole picture together, the holistic lifestyle, which we so much talk about.
You're absolutely right. They don't make that a priority.
Yeah, and when you don't do that, there's a price for that too, wouldn't you say? I mean, if you don't make time for exercise, what happens?
You get sick.
Yeah.
And you get stressed, or all those other things that can come from that.
Yeah, so making time, saying this is important, I'm going to do it, and then start doing it with positive, which we love,
without judging yourself.
Right, and be around people that exercise. Don't you think that helps too?
It helps to keep you motivated, because on those days when you're not feeling motivated and you have somebody else who's there to help kind of push you and say, oh, come on, we can do it today, that helps us so much, because it's not just you that you're kind of falling out on, it would be that person too.
Well, we've done that, and we've been working together for years, and a lot of times we have meetings, we go for walks in our meetings, so we do that. So I think I really recommend that. So.
Absolutely, and thank you so much for your question.
HollywoodBeautySecrets.com offers powerful, healthy skincare products at a fraction of the price of most doctor brands. From potent peptides and antioxidants to rejuvenating LED light therapy, HollywoodBeautySecrets.com offers quality beauty products that you can afford. We all deserve to look and feel our best. On any budget, look better, feel better, be better at www.HollywoodBeautySecrets.com.
Tranquility and peace. Find freedom and relaxation no matter where you are or who you're with. Be still, be free. Meditation for Health and Happiness, available at www.holistichealth.tv.
Co-hosts of the Holistic Success Show, Dr. Puff and Elizabeth Lozano, MA, want to teach you how to live a meditative life. Learn to still your mind, diminish negative thinking, experience peace and bliss, and be 100% present in the moment. Retreats provide a unique opportunity to learn new skills, meet new people, and interact with Elizabeth Lozano and Dr. Puff. For information or reservations for upcoming retreats, please visit holisticretreats.tv. Expand your capacity for joyful living today.
How to Live a Positive Life, available at www.holistichealth.tv. Our quote this week is by Paul the Apostle. Remember this: whoever sows sparingly will also reap sparingly, and whoever sows generously will also reap generously. I think that's a really important message. If you really want to get a lot out of something, you need to put a lot into it. So go out there and give it your all. Thank you for joining us on the Holistic Success Show. If you'd like to learn more about how to live a more meditative and peaceful life, please check out our Meditation for Health podcast, available on iTunes and our website.
And also on our website, we have a bookstore that has a variety of books and CDs available for you to continue on your journey of health.
Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you have a wonderful week.